Yo soy Jorge Roy y esto es un nuevo capítulo de Camino a los Oscars donde vamos a hablar sobre Nickel Boys, una de las películas que silenciosamente logró colarse en el grupo de las mejores películas del año. Está basada en una novela muy famosa que cuenta la historia de dos jóvenes afroamericanos que son llevados a un reformatorio donde son víctimas de abusos y muchos maltratos. Su director, Ramel Ross, ha sido aclamado por su trabajo en esta película, donde alterna el punto de vista de quien está contando la historia. Pero él mismo nos va a contar cómo fue su trabajo adaptando esta famosa novela.
Hey,
Hi,
Jorge.
Ramel. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Congratulations on the film. I was really moved by it. And since you are the screenwriter also, I wanted to start by that. How challenging was to adapt the themes and the tone of this powerful novel to the big screen?
It was difficult, but difficult in a sort of productive and challenging and enriching way. Jocelyn Barnes and I, who's a producer on the film with Jeremy and Dee Dee and David, also a co-writer, we we wanted to distill the book down to its simplest elements. And I think in doing that, it makes it a lot easier to put your arms around, but of course, still challenging.
And I want to talk about the visual style of the film because this resource of changing the point of view is really interesting way to tell the film to tell the story. So I want to know how did you came up with that resource and what do you think it brings to this story?
Yeah, after reading the book the first time, first thought of point of view. It's a film idea that I've had in my head for many, many years and didn't have a place to apply it necessarily. And this book just seemed so perfect to give the audience an inside perspective to Elwood's life as he goes through the world which is just telling him who he is and ultimately shaping his destiny in a way that one could argue is uncontrollable.
Sure. And of course we have to talk about the cast. It's amazing how did you came up with the right actors for these characters because they are all shine in this film and it's really great how you work with them to I don't know to tell this story in the proper way because the themes are so important and I think that every character was completely knocked down.
Yeah, same. I agree. I think we were very lucky. I think we were very lucky with all of our department heads. I think we were very lucky with all of the actors. I think what we were most lucky is that everything sort of came together when the actors on the day came and gave their performances. I think they brought the craft element of the film, um, almost made it invisible and sort of elevated the entire piece. And we came across them through a lot of conversation, of course, though we had our instincts. You never know whether or not it's going to work or it isn't. And I think we got really lucky.
Yes. Well, thank you for your time and again, congratulations for the film. It's amazing.
No, thanks for your interest and questions, and yeah, nice meeting you.
Pero sin duda, el trabajo actoral de esta película ha sido celebrado también en todos los festivales y premiaciones más importantes, así que vamos a dejar que los propios estrellas de esta película nos cuenten sobre el trabajo en Nickel Boys. How are you
Hi, nice to
guys?
meet you. Good,
Hello,
good.
George. How are you?
First, congratulations for the film because you both are amazing on it, and I was really moved by it. And I want to start with some gossip. No, no, I just want to know about the process. No, I want to know about the process. First, this question is for both of you because Ramal has had a very unique style that he wanted to tell the story, switching the point of view of the characters. How did you adapt to that unique way of storytelling, and how did it make you work together and build these characters together with this style?
Um, it was something that we really just had to lean into. So it
Mhm.
was a lot of unlearning, what we know in terms of the camera and performing and everything, and then learning how to translate our work to play directly to the camera. So it was a challenge, but it was exciting, and I think because it was something that we were experiencing all together for the first time for the most part, it made it a lot less scary. And I think having someone like Brandon to, work on the scenes with beforehand and kind of inform each other of how things may go, or how Turner might be feeling during the scene, or how Elwood might be feeling during the scene, really helped when it came to getting on set and then playing it all to camera. That kind of work is something that we were able to um, rely on while also being present in the scene.
Yeah. And also, I mean, just the environment that Ramel keeps and or yeah, just the environment that Ramel nourishes into being when he was making this film. It just makes it so it gives you the space and like the ease to just really not question like what not to say like yeah, just you just feel ready and confident to just join
Yeah.
him on this thing that he's exploring that we're all exploring.
And Ethan, what do you hope that audiences could take away from Elwood's story, especially his resilience and optimism throughout difficult situations? What now that the film is going to be out of the world, what do you hope audiences get from his story?
Well, I mean, you spoke on it a little bit. I think that his resilience, and the darkest of places is really inspiring. That's something that is really difficult to do, and it's something that's easier said than done to kind of find the light in the darkness. But I think that's entirely what, or not entirely, but that's definitely something that I hope audiences take away from his story is that despite even the worst of situations, there can be light in there. That light in the situation was the friendship between Elwood and Turner.
Yeah. And Brandon, were you familiar to the novel before you started working on the project? And how did you, when you read it and when you had the chance to know about it, how did it make you feel about the times that we're living and the powerful message that the story has?
I haven't read it still. I think after I read the script, I was kind of just very much ready to dive in and explore this world. But I think its resonance with the worlds, I think just to echo Ethan, I think the light that it can still express in such and whatever the dark times might be, this light and beauty and friendship that can come out of it. So that's always going to be relevant to the world to remember to to the love.
That's it. Well, guys, thank you again for your time and congratulations for the film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
And great, really excited to be talking to you. First, congratulations because the film is amazing. And of course, your performance is also. But I wanted to start by asking you, how did you approach this character that is both a sense of hope, it gives us hope, but it's also a reflection of the time and the limitations of the time that she was living in. So how did you find that? What was your starting point to creating this character?
I had a lot of conversations about her with Ramel, our Ramel Ross, our director. And I think both of us were trying to arrive at what does this tearing apart, this rift that happens, that's beyond her control, beyond Ethan's control, Elwood's control. What does that do to her? Does it make her crazy? Does it make her, does it make her crazy? What is it? How does she suffer? And she suffers obviously, but what does that suffering look like? Right. And so, a lot of conversation went into that. And what we sort of kind of decided is that Hattie is one of these women who takes great pride in who she is and who her grandson is, and that her intention and her goal is to never let him know that she is not his anchor at all times. So I think that's what she was driven by ultimately in the film.
Definitely. And hear you say that, it makes like the whole film and the characters come together because it's really powerful, the message that this story has. What do you think is important to tell this kind of story today in the world we live in, and what do you expect audiences can take away from this film?
I have no idea what they listen. I don't know anything at this point. Let me just
Uh,
say that from jump.
mm,
But I think that what
mhm,
I want people to become to leave this film and be excited about the future work of Ramel Ross and Brandon Wilson and Ethan Harisi and all the other extraordinary actors that were in this. But I also want people to know about what happened with these young men at the Dozier School in
mm,
Florida, and that this is we are in um uh period close in the film, but you know this was became active in terms of what our finding out what happened to these boys in 2011. That's just 13 years ago. It was only
mm,
this year that Governor DeSantis was signing a bill that would make Florida financially accountable for what happened to these for what happened. So this is something that is very, very present. The Dozier School is one of many schools like this, and they
mhm,
didn't just happen here. I mean, the I would say that the a comparable to that is what happened to young girls in Ireland who got pregnant and they were
mhm.
sent away, and the abuse that happened to them. So it's not just an American moment. It's one that happens to kids who are vulnerable and not protected by us.
Definitely. Thank you again for your time and congratulations for the film. It's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Naked Boys cuenta con 2 nominaciones a los premios de la Academia, Mejor Guión Adaptado y Mejor Película del Año. Si no la has visto, la puedes encontrar en las plataformas digitales porque esta película no va a llegar a las carteleras venezolanas. Cuando la veas, coméntame aquí qué te pareció esta película y nos vemos en otro episodio de Camino a los Oscars.